Hey guys, welcome back to Thinking Caps. This is a very special edition because I have somebody who just flew from Prague to Denver to sit down and talk to me about some really interesting things. You know, at Thinking Caps, we talk about zero-party data, we talk about customer acquisition. We're going to show you some really awesome stuff. So let's have a conversation and dig in right now. Tereza, thank you for coming in from Prague. You are a senior product manager in the with really the specialty in the Cheetah Experiences end of our customer engagement suite.
That's correct.
Well,
yeah.
Thanks for coming. And welcome back to Denver. You've been here before. You were here.
Yeah, that's right. I've worked for Cheetah Experiences in London office and Denver office, so I've been around. Yeah.
All right. Well, the pandemic is lifting. People are coming back to normal. I appreciate having you here. And I think this is really important because you have your finger on the pulse of where the vision is and where the production and the future of our Cheetah Experiences platform is. And I'm going to give this real quick. If you don't know, the Customer Engagement Suite is our full platform, messaging, loyalty, acquiring data from unknown contexts, turning them into known, getting them loyal, in-app wallets, all kinds of stuff. Tons of information on our website. Cheetah Experiences really is the tip of that spear, I think, where we turn unknown into known consumers. What's your elevator pitch on what Cheetah Experiences is for a marketing organization?
Right. So turning unknown users into known is obviously a big part of it. You mentioned acquisition, and that definitely is one of our core use cases. But I think it's more than that. Cheetah Experiences is a tool that helps marketers to build beautiful, amazing experiences that collect data but offer a value exchange on the back of it. So we're really helping marketers to make a connection with their consumers and get to know them on a deeper level. So helping to deliver that one-to-one marketing at scale while keeping all the resourcing under control. Because of course, we work with a lot of enterprise brands, multi-market, multi-brand solutions can get really expensive if you're outsourcing it with third-party agencies, if you're building everything from scratch. So Cheetah Experiences really tries to make that process efficient and offer the right tools to engage audience across the customer lifecycle.
Yep, fully. And there's a million different ways you can engage people, right? I mean, there's sweepstakes forms, there's survey forms, there's, hey, you registered a product, now will you tell us a little bit about that? You've got scratch and wins, you've got things that are fun, you've got things that are very, sterile. Do you have any best practices if somebody's like, oh yeah, I want to get into this world, or maybe they have Cheetah Experiences? What are some of like your favorite ways to engage and learn about people?
Right. So we have something called Experiences Library, which is the home of where most of our marketers start, and we look at the engagement mechanics from a marketing objective standpoint. So there's a lot that marketers are trying to solve. The problems that they might be solving may be anything from building their database from scratch. And that's, in that case, we probably will want to go with some really simple, straightforward mechanic that is built for conversion. So something really straightforward. But also, we have a lot of customers who already have data. The amount of data is not the problem, but the quality or the depth of data is what they're trying to solve. So there are multiple more sophisticated engagement mechanics that not only help you build a richer profile, but make a connection with the consumers.
All right, so I'm going to turn my hat around, and viewers know that we're getting serious. We're getting into the weeds here. It's like a roll up your sleeves tactic. Let's talk a little bit, because we just rolled out in the platform we've had progressive profiling.
Correct.
And can you define that shortly for people that...
Yeah, absolutely. So it all builds on the kind of turning unknown users into known, right? And doing that is great, but what do you do when the users come back the second time? Like, we don't want to ask them the same questions. Like, we want to make them feel heard, that the brand listens, that we value their data, and what they tell us about themselves. So progressive profiling helps with that. When we recognize a known user, we hide or show certain question based on that context, and make sure that we surface only the relevant question based on the fact that we've already asked that before.
Yep, makes total sense. And then which dovetails into that, which is kind of a newer release in the late spring here, is branch logic, something that I've always been a huge fan of. I think it's great. Do you own a dog or a cat? Dog, cool. New set of questions. I know you've been working on it a long time. What are some use cases there? Like, what's an example of how people can use that? And why do you think it's so beneficial?
Yeah, branching logic is a feature not only you're excited about, but pretty much all our customers were really looking forward to use it. It just helps with kind of a simpler version of personalization on the fly, really. So what it does is you ask series of questions, and immediately as the user is answering, we react to that response and hide or show different questions. So, let's take an example of sports. Like, do you do sports, or yes or no? If you say no, like maybe
we're going to
like,
line,
okay,
give you some new questions.
Okay, well that's cool, but sorry,
do you watch sports?
Yeah, right. If you say yes, we were like, okay, cool. So what kind of sports do you do? Like, do you do yoga? Do you run? Yep. And based on that, we can get to a pretty granular level of detail without asking 15 questions. It just goes straight to the point, right?
It's a lot like conversation, right? If I meet you, and I've said this a million times, if I meet you on the street and I say, hey, do you like spaghetti? And you say no, and I say, great, come over for spaghetti dinner. I'm a jerk, right?
Right, exactly. So I think that's a really great point. And we're trying to make experiences feel more like a conversation, to make it more human-like, really.
All right, well, let's talk about the future because, progressive profile, great, branch logic, great. What's the future look like? I know you're working on some things to append into third-party databases. So, even the form, as intelligent as it can get, can even more intelligent. What else is coming down the pipe?
Right. So Experiences platform on its own obviously doesn't hold the wider context of the user. So most of our customers have data integrations with their third-party data systems. It doesn't matter if it's an email marketing tool, DMP,
CDP,
whatever that may be. But that's really where all their knowledge about their users is stored. And what we're working on, or what's the vision for the year ahead, is to be able to recognize a known user by an external identifier coming to us, and when we know who the user is, we can ask the third-party system, like, okay, tell us the important segmentation data about this user. It can be, if you're a retailer, like, it really matters if you're male or female. Like, we're gonna give you a completely different range of offerings, or we're gonna ask you completely different questions. So being able to ask a third-party system about the user, get some segmentation data, and then react to it with the right questions, that's where we're headed.
And that's some real heavy lifting. I mean, that's like, you can't do that with your $1,000 a year, survey, tool. Like, this is enterprise at scale. And by the way, I reference all the time, Discovery Communications collected 100 million entries. But there's been billions of data points collected through Cheetah Experiences. So the scale is there.
Yeah. We're talking about billions. Over the years, and unbelievable amount of brand opt-ins, of course. This is a big part of the conversation. Like, how do we deliver all of this at scale? Because our customers are really looking at performance and scale and multi-market rollouts, as I mentioned at the beginning. So how do we make this extremely efficient and at the same time easy to use, right? Because what we say about Experiences platform is that it is a tool for non-technical marketers. You don't have to be extremely technical to build an experience. Of course, it can get pretty sophisticated, and if you are technical, you can take it to another level. But if you're not, like, how do we ensure that you can build a smart experience that can react to a context without any custom code?
Yep. And we've always said it. We're here for marketers. Marketers can drive. Like, middle-level marketers can drive our stuff. That's
correct.
Important. Well, look, we have 60 seconds left, but I'm going to take most of that time to tell you I've convinced Tereza to do another session that's even deeper. So if you're a Cheetah client and you really want to get into the weeds, you want to know what's coming, you want to maybe learn about what some other industries, verticals, benchmark stats are going to be, we're going to talk about that. This was a great scratching the surface. I appreciate you coming in. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Caps. I'll turn mine around. Have a great day, and be sure to check out the deeper dive that we're going to have with Tereza on CheetahDigital.com. Adios.
See you there.